Two questions, bro. Do you want to be living as a nice guy? The answer is no. Do you want to be living as an asshole? The answer is no. Both of these ways of living didn't serve me well, and I'm sure they will not serve you well either. And I can speak from my own experience because I tried being both. I was a nice guy, I was an asshole, and now I'm neither of those. And I will tell you that both of them are not the way to go. Being a nice guy and being an asshole are two extremes. These are two opposites of the same spectrum. But you need something different to become a real, confident man without being too nice or without being an asshole. And I can lead you exactly towards that mindset. But let me tell you first how it feels to be a nice guy. I said that so many times on this channel. I used to be a nice guy. And why I am so proud of that? Because I managed to get out of that way of living, on that mindset, of that trap. And I think we all start as nice guys at some point. Every man had that stage in their lives. Unless they had like proper guidance or a really masculine father that guided him what to do and what not to do, how to behave. But I am sure, and I can state that this is a stage of life of a man, to be in that nice guy mode. This is a starting point of your development. This is why I think so. The way of living for a nice guy is to be nice, to never rock the boat, to never create conflicts, to never express their true desires, their true feelings. The mission of a nice guy, the way of living of a nice guy, is to agree to everything, not to upset anyone, not to be a bother to someone, not to ask for anything, to be agreeable, smile, be very nice, be just like meh. I was that. I was a nice guy, and I remember how that felt. I felt like a pushover. I felt that I don't have a core. But at the same time, I knew that I was a nice guy. I was even proud that I am the nice guy, and I was feeling strange when things didn't go my way, when girls didn't come for a date with me, when people didn't do what I wanted them to do or expected them to do. I was just being resentful and being upset about life, but then I would forget about it and then just act nice again. When usually man finds out that he's a nice guy, usually it starts with girls. They point out at you and say, "Oh, you're such a nice guy, let's be friends." Have you heard that before, bro? Because I did many times. That hurts so much. It makes you feel defective. It makes you feel like you are not the man. You don't have balls. That's exactly how I felt. That's exactly how I found out I am a nice guy. And then I started making my research, and then I realized that this is not the way to go. It's not the way to live life. And I started to unpack what was happening inside of me and why I was not able to bother anyone. I was not able to ask. I was not able to express myself clearly. I was ashamed of my desires. I was ashamed of me, like to show myself, to show that this is what I want. I want things to be my way. I like this, I don't like that. I didn't have any boundaries set because I thought it wasn't nice to set boundaries, to ask for what you want. And being in that nice guy mode builds up a lot of resentment, especially with girls. First girl cancels the date. Second girl, third girl, fourth girl, fifth girl, she doesn't reply. Sixth girl, she said you're a nice guy. Seventh girl, friend zoned you. Friend zoned you. Friend zoned you. You're such a nice guy. You're such a nice guy. They don't take you seriously. So that resentment was building up in me. That anger was building up in me. That frustration at women, at world, at everyone else, and that question why it's so unfair. I'm such a nice guy. I do everything right. I do everything according to everyone's liking, or so I thought. But this is not what they want, because you're just meh. People want to abuse you. People want to take advantage of you. People want to to take from you because you don't have the frame, you don't have boundaries, and you don't have the core. And now as I'm speaking of this, it makes me sick. It makes me feel really bad that people live that way and I was living that way. And I kind of thought that it was a good way to live life because I'm so nice. After a while, this resentment reached till here. And I said, stop. That's enough. I want to live life my way. I found books. I started changing the way I act. I started changing the way I live. And I slowly started to switch from the nice guy spectrum to the asshole guy spectrum. And why I had to make the radical switch, I had to go extreme opposite to pull myself out of a nice guy mode. I started to act like an asshole without having the confidence of an asshole. There's no another way to switch to another extreme asshole guy without faking it first, without trying new ways of acting, which will feel uncomfortable when you try or if you tried it. And that's what happened to me. I started to artificially boost my confidence and act like I'm a cocky bro, I'm aggressive, I'm a bad boy, I'm a fuck boy, I'm an asshole. And little by little, I started to get reaction from girls. I started to get reciprocation from girls. They started to react differently. I started to polarize them. They started to notice me. They started to listen to me. They started to answer my text messages. They started to go with me on dates. And then in my mind, my thinking switched. I was like, wow, that literally works. I tried something different and I got different results. But then living like that for years and years didn't serve me well either. Because at some point, that fake attitude of an asshole, it becomes you. So you boost your confidence. You boost your confidence more and more and more instead of boosting resentment as a nice guy. You boost your confidence, and that confidence spills over from girls and dates and relationships to other areas of your life. Guys or bros don't abuse you anymore. Friends don't ask for extra things from you. People don't want to abuse you. They don't want to ask from you. They don't want to rock your boat anymore. And I started to feel that confidence pouring in as the world was changing because I didn't allow those things to happen to me. Because I set my boundaries, I set my frame, and I filled my core with confidence. Even artificially, but collecting proof that that works for me. I get reactions, I get external changes, positive changes, and I loved it. So that way led me to become an asshole, a fuckboy with girls, and led me to some confidence, like a real confidence with stack of proof, a lot of dates, a lot of relationships. But then I realized that aggressive way of living, that cockiness, that constant polarization of girls, like acting that all badass and artificially trigger girls way too extreme. I don't even know the right words of how to explain what that extreme takes you to, being that of an asshole. But that way of living is not good. But what that gave me is real confidence. So the next stage would be to become balanced, real, confident man without the need to be a nice guy and without the need to be an asshole. But you cannot skip directly to become that confident man because you need to pass through the stage of being nice, because being nice gives you pain. It gives you fuel to polarize to another extreme of being an asshole. And being an asshole gives you confidence, gives you power, but it gives you something else that you don't want to have, and you don't want to live like that your entire life. So these two stages will lead you to your desired confidence, to your desired image of a confident man. You will become that really confident man without the need to be cocky or push your frames onto girls, onto people, or without need to be nice guy to be liked, and to be accepted and to beg for acceptance, to beg for being accepted, like forced to be accepted and liked or beg to be accepted and liked. Now you can have that state of just being. You have your core. You have everything what it takes to be confident, to live your life, to get girls, to start building businesses, to hustle, to keep your frame, to have your core anywhere you go, regardless what you do. And that is my answer to you, bro. Being nice and being an asshole are two extremes on the same spectrum. Being nice is a stage 1 of your development. Being asshole is a stage 2 of your development. And these are two extremes. To become an asshole, you have to pull yourself out of being a nice guy. And then you have to balance them out and become a real confident man. Hope you relate to this. Let me know in the comment which stage are you on. How does that feel?